The Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade. Welcome to The Unfiltered by Jade, where we get out of the box and dive into topics that are sidelined. I look forward to entertain, educate, and inspire. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget. Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us here Stacey Paulin, and she is an integrative image coach. She offers female entrepreneurs self-care strategies and styling solutions. She's the owner of Urbanity a la mode. Did I get that right?
Yes, urbanity.
Urbanity. Hi, Stacey. How are you?
I am very well, Jade. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. How are you?
I am doing great, and I'm ready to learn.
Yes.
I am. So, for the first question I want to ask, I want to know, what is image?
What is image? That's a great question. So image is an important thing that I think we often overlook. I think we think that image by the word itself means what we see, and it is largely what we see. When we look at someone, we are taking in their image, their likeness.
Right.
Image is largely informed by what's going on inside, not only emotionally, but mentally.
Okay.
And so the image, what you see when you look at someone as the onlooker, is a reflection. And naturally, you want it to be an adequate and authentic reflection of the emotional state and the mental state of that person. That's what image is.
Okay. By knowing that now, how do we know what our image is?
Well, you know your image really by knowing yourself. You know your image by knowing yourself, and you know yourself based on how you feel, what your personality is, how you emotionally relate to yourself, which I call self-compassion.
Okay.
How you treat your physical and mental apparatus, which is what I call self-care.
Okay.
And those two things work together in tandem to inform the image that you will ultimately create. So knowing your image, knowing what your image is really knowing who you are and what you stand for, because that's what your image is.
So by you saying that, I'm going to say there are persons out there who have no idea who they are and what they stand for. They just put on clothes.
Exactly. I think there are a lot of people who dress in a way that tells the onlooker they really don't put a lot of thought or effort into their dress, their image, their appearance. There are lots of people, unfortunately, who don't see style and image as a tool. They just put clothes on and go on about their day. And that is a critical mistake, especially for female entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs for whether you're male or female,
Right.
and professionals. And it doesn't really matter what sector of the market you work in. It doesn't matter your status. It doesn't matter who you work for. If you're an employee or an employer, image is just as important for those people as it is for the average person.
For the average person. How important is image though to our success?
It is an integral part of your success. I mean, and I'm living proof of that. I honestly am. I tell people this every day. I am my own best testimonial, my own success story. Image is an integral part of your success because your image tells the world how you feel about yourself. And if you don't tell the world that you think you're somebody by the way you present yourself and the way you put yourself in the world, then no one else really will care about who you are and your qualifications and your knowledge base and your education and the many years of experience you have and what you have to offer. If you don't find value in what you offer enough to create an image or to present an image that is provoking, that is intriguing, that is attractive, not in a romantic sense,
Right,
but
right, right.
in an interest sense. If you don't find yourself valuable enough to do that, then the world will often pass you by because they likely don't have that same interest either.
Okay. I think it leads me to the next question in terms of asking if image is still important with our emerging technologies. Because even as you answered the question not too long ago, persons would say, though, that with this new technology, people don't see them. So if you're not seeing me, why do I need to dress a certain way?
That's a great question. And I would have to push back on that. I think that the advent of social media and technology has amplified the need for a very polished presentation. There are lots of entrepreneurs and lots of employers who, when they're looking to hire someone to work with, when they're looking for someone to partner with, when they're looking for someone to onboard, the first thing that they do is they go to Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. They go to
Mhm.
all of these platforms, and the first thing that they're going to see is your likeness. They're going to see your face. They're going to see pictures of you. They're going to read your words. They're going to read your articles. They're going to probably know quite a bit of information about you before they even see you face to face.
Yes.
It's that first impression online on social media platforms via the technology that we have available today that gives that person the information that they need to either move forward or to stop.
I get you. I get you.
Absolutely. And so it's often that first glimpse into who someone is, and that largely happens nowadays online on social media, that intrigues and informs the onlooker about who that person is, what they likely have to offer, and if they're either going to be a good fit, a good business partner, a good potential client, or not.
Interesting. Um, how important is it to have an image consultant and what are their purpose?
That's a good question. So, this is another thing that I think people often overlook. I think people largely believe, and this is changing, but it's still, I think the consensus is that image consultants are for the rich and famous.
Mhm.
Image consultants are for people who are high profile, who are in the limelight all the time. Think of your celebrities, your models, your actors, actresses, people who are newscasters, who are highly visible. And that is not true. Absolutely not true. Image consulting is for everybody. And the reason why is because, especially from the way that I approach it in terms of my methodology, it is a combination of self care, self compassion, and style. And everybody and anybody can benefit from that, especially in this peri pandemic, post pandemic era where we've had a lot of time to be introspective, to really
Mhm.
think about who we are, where we are in the moment, and where we want to go. And as I said earlier, style is a vehicle, is a tool that can help us greatly from getting where we are right now to where we're going. It can help you with your confidence. It can help you be more emotionally available to yourself, kinder to yourself. It can help you create self care strategies that help to tend to, again, the physical and mental apparatus. I don't know anybody who has endured this pandemic that would not benefit from that. So, image consulting is for everybody, every single person.
Okay. I mean, I saw something on your post yesterday when I was looking. You
Mhm.
were speaking about colors. How does color influence your impact?
That's interesting. I follow a psychologist, and she actually is a psychologist and an image consultant. And some of her research is really fascinating. And what you'll learn as an image consultant, what we're taught, what we're trained in, is color analysis. And when you learn the process of color analysis, you learn how powerful colors can be in terms of lifting a mood, depressing a mood. It also, for the onlooker, can draw them in or repel them away. Color has the power, if you're wearing the right colors, to make you look brighter, more awake. It makes you look more alive, more exuberant, more vivacious. Wearing the wrong colors can have the total opposite effect. It can draw you down. It can make you look sick, even. It can make you look gray. It can make you look older than what you are. And depending on the type of image or appearance you want to project, it is a wise and smart idea to invest in colors that are going to do the former and not the latter. So color has a lot of impact in terms of how we present ourselves, but it also makes us feel better. It makes us more confident. It makes us brighter. It changes our mood. It does have an emotional effect as well.
Understood. I am thinking, I'm doing some thinking while you're talking, and I'm saying to myself, all right, so then image then would not just be the clothes that we have on then.
Absolutely not.
It seems as if it's much deeper, because, okay, if it is that I dress up, but my hair is not done, my face is not properly done, I don't have on the right shoes, then it still takes away from the clothes that I have on. Because imagine if it is that you're not coordinated properly or dressed properly, or your hair is not groomed properly, the images, even if you have on the best clothes that fits you, something is still distracting about it. So that means image is not just clothes that you put on, it's from head to toe.
Sure, absolutely. And that can harken back to the color discussion that we just had too. You could have like you said, the perfect fit. It can lay on you, can be cut on bias. It can be the perfect tailored fit for you. And if it's in the wrong color, it's a wash. It's a non-starter. But even still, the shoes, the hair, the makeup, the colors, that's still all within the wheelhouse of image in terms of what we see as the end product. But still, there's a lot more that goes into it behind the scenes. And that has largely to do with the self-care, self-compassion pieces that I was talking about, how you treat your body, but also how you treat your emotional self, how you behave with yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you respond emotionally to yourself. And those two things in tandem is what informs you what you're going to wear, how you're going to dress yourself. If there's no impetus for dressing well, you're likely not going to dress well. And what I find, unfortunately, is that there are a lot of people who put on these beautiful clothes, which may be in the perfect colors for them, perfect cut, perfect fit, but it's almost a form of whitewash. It's not a lasting transformation if that inner work, the self-care and the self-compassion pieces have not been done. That's what creates the foundation for lasting image transformation.
Understood. And that leads to the other question. What are some of the questions that we can ask ourselves to determine our image?
Oh, this is a good question. That's a great question, Jade. So a couple of questions. One question that comes to mind that you can ask yourself as you are thinking about curating or creating an image is, who am I? Not what am I? Not I'm a mother, I'm a business owner, I'm a wife. Not what you are, but who you are. What is it that you stand for? What are your principles? What's the foundation that you rest on? Who are you? Then after you answer that question, then you can move into what you are, what roles you play in life, and perhaps what roles you may want to play in life. What shoes you may want to fill in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years. And that should definitely inform this image that you are creating as well. So asking yourself where you are in the moment, who and what you are in the moment, and where you want to be ultimately, those two things are really important in terms of determining what kind of image you want to create.
Okay. We were having a discussion the other day, and you had mentioned also your background plays a part in terms of if you were ever divorced, if you had health, any drastic change that has happened in your life that had caused you to either change your image or has allowed you to not continue, practicing self-image and who you are. So those are some other factors that can play a part in us not knowing who we are, because there might be changes to our image because of the drastic changes that we have gone through in life.
That's so true. That's so true. And you'll find clients, I'll talk them through the questionnaires that I take them through. and we do quite a bit of style psychology. This is another interesting part of image consulting on my end of the spectrum, because often I want to know if someone really needs help in the style department, if they're dressing drab, if they're not really paying much attention to the way they look, why is it that they're not paying attention to the way they look? If that is your calling card, if that's what people judge you on before they really get to know you, why wouldn't you want to present yourself in the best light? And you'll often find, some people want to be invisible because of past trauma. People don't want to be seen. They'd rather be out of the spotlight as opposed to being in the spotlight because of past trauma. They may be undergoing a major life transition, and they're not quite sure where they are in the moment and where they want to go. And so those questions need to be fleshed out by asking some deeper questions. There's a lot of psychology in style as it pertains to the work that we do as image consultants. And part of our job is to uncover why someone would dress the way that they're dressing, and changing that narrative so that they ultimately begin to care again, not only about who they are, but how they present themselves. Because if you're dressing in a way that you want to be invisible, there's an underlying issue there that needs to be fleshed out. And I could put you in the best Balenciaga dress on the planet, and it could be, you could shine from head to toe. But if you want to feel invisible, you would feel horrible if I put you in that dress. And so we need to address the self-esteem, the self-compassion issues that inform the way that you dress if you're wanting to feel invisible. So style psychology plays a huge role in that too.
Awesome. So I want to know, if it is that we want to make an appointment with you, how can we do so, and what are your services?
Absolutely. So I reside, I use that word reside in terms of the consulting spectrum.
Okay.
On the side where there's a combination, again, of self-care, strategy, self-compassion work, and styling solutions. It's all together.
Okay.
And I recognize that not everyone needs a head-to-toe makeover, so I offer 3 different signature image and styling solutions, all meant to help my clients restore their wellness, find their style, and find themselves in the process. And so I can be found all over social media. Again, my company is Urbanity a la Mode. So that handle, you'll find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook with the same handle. My name is Stacey Paulin, and I'm also on LinkedIn. And my website is urbanityAlamode.com.
Bingo. And yeah, that was interesting. Thank you so much. I mean, you brought out the fact that having an image consultant is important. As I said before, many persons probably don't think it's that important because they just go in their closets and wear things. I guess it's because we don't think that it's important to our brand or to our business, right? But you have made it a point, and after even speaking to you, I've made it a point to make a deliberate effort. Oh my goodness, to not just put on something, but to actually dress up and go where I'm going, because I'm like, nah, you said that's how people view you the first time they see you.
Absolutely. Well, that's wonderful to hear.
Yes, so you did that. So you made an impact.
Thank you. Oh, that makes my day. That makes it really does.
Oh my goodness. So thank you again, Stacey.
Thank you
I'm
so much.
Yes, I'm sure our listeners enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm hoping that everybody will listen and take notes from it and contact Stacey if you need her. And thank you again for listening to Unfiltered by Jade. We'll be back next week, Tuesday. Thank you.